Alright everybody, we have the new season of Battlefield here on Global. This one goes away quick, I just want to point this out. It goes away in 11 days, that's really fast. So, not really going to have much of a time to do this, but Hatchiak is here, so, we will go ahead and complete this, get our rewards, and then grab Hatchiak. I have already edited our lineups. I'm not bringing KALE, but I did decide to throw Frost into here. I just didn't bring KALE just because of what I like to run for Super AGLs, so... first up, we have Extreme Tech. I'm going to be using Extreme Tech. If you guys didn't know, the typing here at the first fight indicates what the final fight will be. So it's AGL, so that means the final fight will be AGL. We'll be using Tech against that boss. Shouldn't be too hard. Whenever you're hopping into these fights, make sure you read the enemy traits, see if they're immune to anything. Usually this first fight isn't too hard, so if you want to save both of your Tech teams for later, you could bring a free-to-play Ginyu Force team into here or a free-to-play Bardock team into this first fight and get it done with. I'm pretty confident in my Super Tech team though, so we're going to be saving it for the end. Extreme Tech, who I like to run for my leader, is Janemba, because he does give Extreme Class Key plus 3 HP Attack and Defense 130%, as well as Corroded Body and Mind Key 3 HP Attack and Defense 170. The Corroded Body and Mind isn't going to hit too many characters, but the Extreme Class Key 3 130% is good. And then I like to run Goku Black and Zamasu because they give 4 Key and 120%. If you don't have them, other good options are this Frieza right here, who gives 3 Key 130, and then this Frieza, who gives 3 Key 120. So those are good options. This Cell's a good option if you somehow have him. I do like to bring him. Let's bring them. Let's bring these two. And we're not bringing a Frieza, so we won't bring Frost. I guess let's bring... this guy, Super 17. So there we go. We're not even bringing Frost. I mentioned him when we're not even bringing him. I like to save the Friezas in the event that I need a backup team. So I like to save them. That Frieza, the golden Frieza is really tanky. So if I need a backup, I like to bring him. Okay, this is unfortunate. Normally I would have put them in slot 1 because they have guard and they need to take hits to build up. But we'll put Ice and Nova right there. Just in the event this guy gets sealed. Ice and Nova needs 7 Tech Orbs. Looks like we're going to be able to get that there. And then let's just grab them. This Chaozu's not very difficult. So if you're struggling against this Chaozu, make sure you're bringing a team with leaders or something. Probably that's where most people get tripped up trying to build a team, is they don't know how to pick leader skills. They don't realize what matters. The first 2 units that you pick are your leader units in Battlefield, so you need to make sure that they have a leader skill that encompasses your team. That's why I pointed out Janemba and Goku Black and Zamasu, as they're buffing Extreme Tech or just Extreme Class. So that's who I like to bring here. Typically, I like to use my Extreme Class teams first, because typically they're just weaker. I'll tell you one instance is typically, or sometimes I like to use my Extreme STR team later, just because Extreme STR is really powerful. So sometimes I'll save it. What is this boss? Extreme Tech, so let's use Extreme Int. But yeah, whether or not you use Extreme or Super first doesn't really matter. I would just save your stronger variant for later in the event. You don't want to burn your strong team here in the beginning and then need it later. So, save your, whether your super is stronger or your extreme typing team is stronger, save that for the end. I do not recommend running in here with teams that are not just mono typings. Some people like to run in here with category teams. I don't recommend that. I just say come in here with mono typings like this that are direct counters to the boss and just shred them. That's what I recommend. So if you're struggling with this, a lot of new players struggle with Battlefield just because you need so many units to even attempt the event. So if you're really struggling with Battlefield, just know that it gets easier over time. This mode is really old now. I don't even remember when it started, but whenever it first came out, I remember I had trouble with some of the events. There used to be a Zamasu that was just the ultimate gatekeeper in the stage 3, just because he would heal. That healing Zamasu was just so tough in the ending stages, and you really needed a special team to be able to get past him, because, I mean, for some players, he just felt impossible because you just couldn't do enough damage to him to get past his healing. So, okay, so let's grab Extreme AGL here. Extreme AGL is really taking a step up with some of these units. We got Super Buu and Golden Frieza here. I like to bring this guy right here because he gives Wicked Bloodline 4 Key 170%, and then Extreme AGL 3 Key 120%. And I do like to bring a couple Wicked Bloodline characters. Occasionally I'll bring this guy if it's a really tough boss, but this Frieza's not. We'll bring Super Buu. And then I like to bring these two for supports, or Rildo, but I like these two better because they actually have big bad bosses, which most of our characters do have, so, you know, it's just good to have. Typically, you can tell if you're building a good battlefield team or not based on how much HP you have. Generally speaking, the higher HP you have, the better team you have for battlefield. Not always true, but it is a good, like, it's a mark of a good team, basically, is what I'm getting at here. Doesn't really matter who goes in slot 1 between these two. They'll both do a ton of damage, so let's just do that. And then we'll grab these orbs right here, and we can probably just one-shot this Mecha Frieza. We'll see. But yeah, make sure you're reading the status abilities of these fights before you hop in. I don't really do it just because I don't need to. I know that I can just walk in here and curb stomp these guys. But it's important to know what you can and can't do to the boss. It won't tell you what you can do, but it'll tell you what you can't do. So it'll say, like, immune to attack lowering, immune to defense lowering, immune to stunning, or, you know, immune to sealing. It'll tell you all of that before you hop in that little marquee. Make sure you read that, and you're bringing characters that can have abilities that lock down these bosses. Just like in Super Battle Road, where if you're able to lock down the bosses, see, like, this guy, he just disables attack and defense, and he's immune to being stunned, but that means he can be sealed. So if you've got some extreme or extreme STR or super STR sealers, maybe bring them against this Tapion if you're having trouble. We'll save extreme, or we'll use extreme STR early. Again, I like to save this just because it's really powerful. Excuse me, we'll go ahead and use it here. So this is what I like to bring. You can see here it's had almost 700k HP, so you know, pretty good. That's typically why I like to save it. It's really cohesive and really powerful. But we're gonna go ahead and hop in with this variant right here. Got the nice Tapion OST playing. You know, sorry, buddy, but Cooler doesn't care about your really good OST. He's just gonna curb stomp you. So, yeah, this is just what I like to do. I think he lowers attack and defense whenever he super attacks, or just attack. Okay, but he can't really do damage to Cooler. Cooler is just too good. Like, we're basically on a real team here. Like, this is kind of like a red zone team almost. Yeah, listen, Tapion, buddy. You know, you know, it's good knowing you. But yeah, this is a mode that gets easier over time as you collect more characters, so make sure you're reading those status abilities and, you know, bringing characters in here that can help lock these guys down if you're having trouble. I think most people can usually get through levels 1 and 2 pretty easily. It's usually the level 3 fights that start tripping people up. But if you're having trouble with maybe like this Kid Goku, you know, let me know. But again, he is, you can seal him. I think you can seal everybody in Stage 2, so if you bring some sealers into here, you shouldn't have any issues. For Extreme Physical, I like to bring, just like, you can bring Omega. He gives Physical 100%. You can bring this free-to-play Ginyu if you have him. I like to save him for a backup lead, though. You know, this guy's great, so we can bring, like, these two. That's good. You know, Metal Cooler's great. King Cold can be a good option if you can lower attack, but even still, he's just a solid option. We can bring Omega, Janemba, and then I just like to bring this guy because he gives all Extreme Class allies 3 key support, which just kind of helps, you know, ring these teams, or like round these teams together. So that's just who I like to bring in my 7th slot there. Sometimes I'll bring Broly. Usually I'll just leave Broly on the sideline though, just because I don't need the extra help. So yeah, like right here, we can just do this, and got nothing really to worry about. Goku Black also creates rainbow key spheres if you're facing a Goku family enemy, which can be really useful for a team like this. Again, just having a character that is creating rainbow key spheres and offering you some support, like key support. You can see, like, he's old at this point. He easy-ate a long time ago, so a 2 million attack stat isn't really anything crazy. But I mean, it's not too far off from Janemba, and he's just providing a lot of value to the team, and that he's giving 3 key and rainbow orb changing, which, you know, generally speaking, these teams aren't really going to work super well together that you're bringing into Battlefield. You're going to kind of have a hodgepodge of units for the most part, so just having some supports around that give key and maybe create rainbow orbs can be really valuable, and just making sure that you're getting your super attacks off and, you know, everybody is cohesively working together. So that is definitely very valuable and something to keep in mind whenever you're team building for Battlefield. Let me know which fights you guys end up struggling with the most. I'm sure it's some Stage 3 fights. I know some people struggle with that, like Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, because, like, I think he can get really annoying with his dodging. I've had a little bit of trouble with him. I mean, he's never, like, KO'd me or anything, but there's definitely been times where I've gone past, like, 3 turns with him because he just turns into UI Gohan on me or something, right? So, yeah, this Kid Goku, he does debuff, so he can do a little bit of damage to you, but he can be sealed. I didn't bring any sealers, but, you know, you guys can find some sealers. You know, a great tool at your disposal is the sort and filter options in your character select menu. So I'll show you that here in a second. I don't know if it'll pop up because I don't know if I have any characters that'll fit the description. But, like, we'll talk about this Gohan, right? So he's immune to being stunned, he can dodge, and he reduces damage received, but it looks like you can seal and lower his attack. So if we go here, and I know I want to bring Super AGL, I can go to this skill effect, and I can go to, like, lower attack, right? And I can see characters here who lower this guy's attack, so those may be characters that I want to bring, so... for Super AGL, though, I like running these two as leaders because usually I'm bringing Goku family units. Of course, we got to get this guy on the team. I like to bring this Gohan, again, because he gives defense and key support. The better your units are working together, the more success you're going to have. And then I just like to round it out with these two. So yeah, well, again, 647k HP is really good in Battlefield. That's pretty much a legitimate team, so I do not expect any major issues here. You know, this guy creates rainbow orbs. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of him in the world, but he does seal as well. I don't know if we'll get any value. I mean, we will get value out of that. He may super us sometime before we get this seal off. But, you know, if he tries to attack UI Goku can dodge. And he'll protect us next rotation. So even though he may not be able to protect us this rotation, we may not be able to get the seal off in time. He will be protecting the entire next rotation because he lowers attack and seals. So the next rotation, this Gohan's going to be, like, super nerfed. So it's important to bring those characters like that around. Again, he's providing a lot of value in Battlefield. There's some units that come out, it's like maybe they're not quite red zone level, but they do provide a ton of value in Battlefield. I mean, that Goku's, like, decent enough to be used in red zone. He's not my favorite unit ever to use in there, but I mean, he's better than a lot of other units, and he provides value. And in a stage like this, against this Gohan, he's super valuable because he can lock down and really protect your allies. So even though he may be a little bit weaker defensively, he just has, like, that, I don't want to call it intangible value, but he does just have a lot of value. You know, listen, you know, there's a lot of great value units out there, and he's one of them. This unit as well lowers attack, so we're just going to be neutering Gohan into oblivion. Can we lower Gohan's attack? Am I just making that up? He can definitely be sealed, right? Maybe they only lower attack on their 18 key. Let's see. Well, if Goku attacks here and the attack lowering doesn't show up, then we'll know. Okay, yeah, he can have his attack lowered, so they definitely debuffed him. So, but yeah, now Gohan is just like, I mean, he's almost dead, but, you know, he's just majorly nerfed right now, so... That's the power of sealing and lowering attack. I mean, he can't do anything to us on this rotation. He could just decide to dodge all of these attacks, but that's about the only thing he could do here. So, you know, we'll see what he chooses. But I have a feeling Goku here is just going to take him out. Yeah, this is done. There we go. So yeah, I've just I don't want to say I've gotten to the point to where Battlefield is beneath me now. But I definitely do not, like, the days of struggling in Battlefield are over. You know, you come to have a 6-year-old account plus, and that happens. So, Super STR, I used to run a Pure Saiyan's Goku family team for this, but I have changed up a little bit just because there's some other characters that I want to run in here. These two, I guess, are my main leads at the moment. That's just kind of what I've been doing. Let's bring Gogeta, Bulma, gotta have this unit here. I could probably run them as a lead if I wanted to. Power of Wishes, Battle of Fate. But, I mean, it's fine. We'll bring Super Vegeta and this guy for the key support. Actually, let's bring this guy, because this guy's an Orb Changer, and he's pretty good for Battlefield still. You know, so, like, just bringing Orb Changers can be really good in Battlefield, so let's just bring him around. Even if they're not helping themselves, they can help others. And then you get a character like Bulma here who does help the entire team. So this is really good. We're going to get Bulma's support active. This unit's going to be able to get their 24 key. At 24 key, they do an additional super attack, which is nice. And then this unit right here can just attack. That's cool. Did not get very many rainbow orbs on this rotation for having 2 rainbow orb changers, but it is what it is sometimes. For Super STR, I mean, there's a ton of ways that you can run Super STR. It's one of the reasons I like using it first is just because it's not super cohesive. Like, I kind of just designed this just to bring some new flashy units into the stage. If I was really going to run this normally, I would probably switch back to my Pure Saiyans / Goku family / Super Saiyans build that I used to run. That's kind of what I like doing for this, just because it's really cohesive. I generally value running cohesive setups with maybe slightly dated units than running a setup that's like full of new units but is just kind of wonky. Whenever I hop on the battlefield, I just really value being able to walk in here, have all of my units have really good ki, and maybe they take a little more damage than usual, but for the most part, they're just going to walk in here and dominate. I value that greatly over, you know, just like having like really powerful units like Bulma and that like LR Super Saiyan 4, Vegeta and GT Goku, and you know, like Gogeta. There's times where I don't want that, right? We can just grab that right there. This unit doesn't need like 24 ki or anything, and I think we're out of here. So that you know, that was BoJack. couldn't really do anything to us. Another nice thing about this Goku is that if you take a lot of damage, you can use his active skill just immediately. So this Kaioken Goku will have value in Battlefield for a long time, which is really nice. You know, being an orb changer, pumping out some really high attack stats. If you're going up against a Vegeta, he can really do some crazy damage in Battlefield. I don't think there's a Vegeta enemy right now, but, you know, sometimes for special editions, they like to give us Vegeta enemies, so there is that. Nice that we got to see his 12 ki there. It's been a long time since I've seen that. Collect the rewards there. See, we got Go Tanks. Again, we'll just run Super Int. For Super Int, I like to run Bond of Parent and Child. So let's just go ahead and grab some Bond of Parent and Child category characters here. We can bring Pan. She's the support for Bond of Parent and Child. And then like this GT Vegeta is usually good because he's a Rainbow Orb Changer. So that's what I like to run there. Again, Bond of Parent and Child. And then I run this unit because they give Int Ki at 120%, they're giving themselves a 180% leader skill, so pretty good. You can get away with running God Goku as your secondary leader, but keep in mind that God Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks are not on his leader skill. Despite being both a pure and hybrid Saiyan, they are on neither category, so they do not get his leader skill. It's very dumb, but, you know, the way Dokkan does categories is completely asinine, and that is one of the sad decisions that we have to deal with as players, so... You know, despite being both a pure and hybrid Saiyan, and Goku leading pure and hybrid Saiyans, because they have neither category tag, they are not on his leader skills. So, you know, be careful whenever you're building a team. You can bring Vegeta and Trunks as your leader, but you cannot bring this guy if you're bringing them. So, you know, he is still a good leader, though, leading pure and hybrid Saiyans. You can definitely make a team around that. Just keep in mind you can't bring Vegeta and Trunks if you do that. I mean, you could try running them off of leader skill, which I think I've had success doing in the past. But, you know, you want to be really tight coming in here. You don't want any weaknesses hopping in the battlefield. You want to be able to hop in here and get out quick. So, you know, it's like you got several fights to go through. There is no need to be wasting your time in battlefield. Oof, quite a bit of damage there. I think we should be... I'm actually going to do this. I think. What if we do this? Yeah, this is good. We can get the 18 ki. We'll get the unit super because that Goku is on rotation. We'll drop the STR orbs for them. They'll be able to get a super attack. There we go. Gohan can handle slot 1. You know, we don't really have to worry about him here. Plus mine is built full dodge, as you can see. So he's just not taking any damage here. We are getting the unit super. Look at this. This is the fun version with Goku. We don't see this one often because usually we're running LR Piccolo. You don't need to run LR Piccolo in here because, you know, you can get the unit super with Goku as well. And I believe it has the same effect. It's just a different animation, so you don't need to really worry about that whenever you're hopping in here as to, you know, which unit super you're getting. If you want to bring LR Piccolo, you can, but then you can't run Vegeta and Trunks as your leader because LR Piccolo is not on Bond of Parent and Child or Future. So, again, just keep that in mind. This guy's just hanging around. We can't quite do enough damage. But I think we're going to finish him off here. Vegeta and Trunks are too powerful. And we had the nice Rainbow Orb changing from GT Vegeta. So we were able to get full ki to our powerful LRs here. So it's I'm afraid to say it's Jover for our buddy Gotenks. Sadly, everybody wave goodbye to the really good OST that we're getting to listen to. This might still be a top 10 OST for me. I'm not sure. I really like this Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks OST. It's just really good. Alright, who do we got next? Who's next on the chopping block? Alright, we got Super Boo. We're going to be bringing Super Physical into here. For Super Physical, I like to run God Goku because he is a pure and hybrid Saiyans leader. And then just for the other one, I usually bring this guy, just because they give 120% to physical. I might be able to bring them as a leader, Power of Wishes or Final Trump Card. What does that look like? If I set it to Power of Wishes, Final Trump Card, what does that look like? Power of Wishes, and I think Final Trump Card is just like right here. There we go. Okay, so yeah, you don't really want to be bringing them as a leader. But I mean it's fine. So we'll just bring this unit. Beast Gohan can be pretty good in here, and we can bring a couple shocking speed units to help him out. I like to bring Kid Goku for the orb changing, and I like to bring this guy because he seals and gives support. So this is a pretty good lineup right here. You know, all these other characters can be used as well, but this is just what I like to rock with. So, you know, these are all pure and hybrid Saiyans, so they're all on God Goku's leader skill. And they just kind of generally work well together, so... let's do this. We can give them some ki. We can give this tech ki to Gohan, and then we can give the physical ki to them at the end. There we go. We got the shocking speed units next to each other, which is nice. Sadly, you know, the bum Beast Gohan needs a ton of ki to super attack. I did not look to see if we can actually stun Super Boo or anything. If we can, then having Beast Gohan get his 12 ki can be advantageous, because he does stun on his 12 ki. So, again, keep that in mind. If you're really struggling with these fights, make sure you're actually reading what you can do to these characters, or rather what you can't do, and then be able to deduce what you can do from what you can't do. You know, listen, I promise that makes sense. You know, be able to look at those things and figure out what you can and can't do to these bosses. That way, you know, you can have strategy hopping in here. You can say, oh, okay, you know, for Super Boo, I'm going to be using my super physical team, and I really want to be bringing characters who can lower attack, or characters who can stun, or whatever you can do to Super Boo. And then you can go into your character selection. There we go. That's why we give Gohan full dodge, by the way. But then you can just go in there, right, and figure out how you want to build these teams, so... overall, the battlefield is not super challenging. We're going to be going up the final phase, which is Broly with Super Tech, which means that you can bring the Tech God Goku. Broly is a movie boss and a pure Saiyan, so God Goku will have his full damage reduction against Broly, so it should not be easy, or it should not be hard fighting Broly here. Oh, excuse me. I'm having some heartburn tonight, my bad. It's really late. I just set an alarm for Battlefield. I was dozing off. Alright, so yeah, he's immune to being stunned, and he reduces damage received, but you can seal him, and you can lower attack. So if you're having trouble with Broly, you know, you can seal and lower attack. So this guy's a great option because he seals. He Rainbow Orb changes. He's a good leader. So let's bring him. We can bring Vegito Blue. He's going to be insane. We can bring this guy. He's a movie hero. If you need to, you can bring Tech Caulifla because she has a 100% dodge rate against this guy. We'll bring Orange Piccolo. He has the attack lowering. You're going to bring Vegeta for the support. And then let's just bring them because they're fun. So there we go. Really powerful team going in here up against Broly. Got quite a few attack lowers, so it should not be an issue. We will float off this Vegito. That should be good. We can get this guy a stack right here. He'll be fine. He's doing the AoE first, I believe, so we'll get his full passive up before Broly gets a chance to super us. And I think we should be safe on this rotation. If he decides to super Vegeta in the middle, we might take a little bit of damage there. But overall, I think we're going to be fine here. Especially if he decides to super Goku, which is probably what he's going to do. I found that most of the time this guy likes to do his AoE and then immediately follow it up with a super attack on his first turn. So I do expect the attack after the AoE to be a super attack, but we will see. The nice thing is that everybody's going to get a hit in here before we have to take the brunt of the super attack, which is going to give everybody a little bit of defense. Okay, so he probably is supering Vegeta here. But again, we got at least one hit in, so he's not completely bare bones defensively. Yeah, this is going to hurt a little bit. This might do 200k. But this is going to be the last chance he has to really super us and actually do damage. So, okay, 300k. A little bit more than I would have liked, but we have God Goku next rotation, so this guy's going to get locked down. I am not worried. Plus, we have Carnival Goku's Revive if we need it. Again, I'm not concerned here. Vegeta's going to tear this guy up. Really nice to see. There we go. One more. Beautiful. We got the triple super from Vegito. Keep in mind, whenever if somehow we get to turn 4 against this guy, Vegito will have his guaranteed dodge on turn 4. So, yeah, that was your last chance to do something to us, buddy. Now we can do this. I'll go ahead and give him just these key spheres. He doesn't need anything crazy. Broly will now be sealed. He will not be able to super attack us. We can just grab... We'll grab these tech key spheres. That's fine. And then we'll grab these with Orange Piccolo. Very good. We'll also get Orange Piccolo's support passive active, so we will be able to lower attack as well with Orange Piccolo, because we'll get his 2 key active from the AoE, assuming he doesn't dodge it. My Orange Piccolo only has 3 dodge, so the chance he does is pretty slim, but the chance is always there, which is important. But Broly is now sealed. He cannot super attack us on this turn. There we go. We got the, we got the support key up. The gods are going to do a ton of damage to Broly, as they always do. The gods still a great battlefield unit with their 1-turn guard and their stacking. They're easy to get transformation and their active skills, so... great battlefield unit, the LR Gods and LR Super Saiyan 4s. Again, we've taken some damage here from Broly, but I'm not really worried. We have the revive next turn if he wants to try to kill us there, and then the next rotation that he comes back on, we're going to be able to, if we somehow get to turn 4, we'll be able to transform with the Gods and get their active skill. We'll have Vegeta with his turn of guaranteed dodging, and we'll have God Goku with his damage reduction and seal. So I am not concerned about this Broly doing anything to us for the rest of the fight, but, if he wants to try, he is welcome to. So there it is. There's the guard. I'm not worried about it. I don't think we need to try to get the revive here. I think we just kind of play the turn like this, and we see how it goes. He can't super us. I don't think he can really do damage to us either. Like, yeah. Yeah, he can't do damage to us, so... we win. I think we're just going to KO him here, probably with Goku. If not Goku, Vegeta will take this guy out. So, pretty easy run of Battlefield. I know some people have beaten this guy with Peppy Gal's teams. You can come in here with Peppy Gal's teams, because most of them lower attack and seal. So just locking this guy down can be pretty easy. Plus you have access, to units like Tech Caulifla, who can 100% chance to dodge this guy. So, if you're having trouble with them, maybe bring some ringers in here like Tech Caulifla, God Goku, and, just shut this guy down. So there we go. That is the new season of Battlefield. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the copy of Hatchiak that should be in the shop. He should be available. That way I can start link leveling him. I will get a level 10 links 55% showcase out for him as soon as I can. I'll start link leveling him tonight, and we'll see how that goes. So... also, make sure you use your 8th anniversary currency if you still have any. I'm saving mine personally just because I don't need any of these other items, and I just like to collect things. So I'm, saving this stuff. But, be sure to use your stuff before it goes away. Where is the Battlefield shop? It's over here. There it is. There's Hatchiak. All right, let's go ahead and grab him. Nice. There we go. We still have 378k left over. Let's go ahead and lock Giant Hatchiak. Hello? Oh, we're on Super Tech. There we go. Hatchiak, there we go. New LR. He is technically, kinda, his super attack is farmable. I don't recommend doing it, though. It's a really low chance, so... let's go ahead and we can just get him trained up on video. We'll end with this, so... let me know what you guys think about the new season of Battlefield. I didn't think it was too hard, but, my opinion is definitely skewed these days. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys next time.